right, I am on.
How are you?
Wait a minute, let me turn up my volume. All right, now I can hear.
Good. How are you?
How are you?
We're good. We're good. We might still have more popping on because they're
Yeah,
excited.
it's just 10:01. It's good. It's good. I just made me some keto coffee. So, I made decaf coffee and I put in creamer, so I wouldn't be up all night.
Yes. I made
So, how is everybody? Let me put it in big mode here. Wow, we have a lot on. Hey, everybody. It's good to see you all. You looking good tonight? Yep. Just got off of my call just a little while ago. Oh, yeah, you got some more coming on. All right, so Samantha, you're coming to the ranch.
Yes, I'm so excited.
That was the coolest video. I really wanted them to come, y'all to come, because I just loved it. And sitting there eating that stuff, the ramen noodles. That was just so cute.
I should have included all the bloopers because we had to redo it so many times because I just kept laughing. And he's like, if you don't stop laughing, he's like, I'm not putting this in my mouth again.
Well, it's good if his wife can't stop laughing.
Right.
All right, well, let's get started. So you asked me to come on. I'm all yours. Tell me what this is your team. Endless possibilities are available to us. We want to go for it. We want to get rid of all the obstacles in our brain. What's going on up here? We're going to do that. We're going to get out some of that stuff tonight. So tell me what you're looking for.
Yes. So Dana and I are sideline sisters. She's a triple diamond, and we kind of started helping each other about a year ago at last year's green carpet, and kind of not so much. We kind of like merged our teams together on doing Zooms and different things like that. So you have my team and you have some of Dana's. And so I asked them to tell us some questions that they had for you. And a lot of them were repetitive, which is fine. So we will just start at the beginning, which I know was the most popular question. How do you stay motivated? When people quit or you lose rank, how do you suggest picking up and continuing?
Oh my God, I love this question. Okay. Who hasn't lost rank? Very few. Okay. All right. Now, we don't take your rank away. So we got to get rid of that lost rank, because you don't lose rank, do you? Everybody raise their hand, right? We don't lose rank. We don't take that away from you. We don't publish that. We don't get on stage and say, oh, here's a former ambassador diamond who's now presidential diamond. We don't do that. What happens in business? Business goes up, business goes down, business goes back up, business goes down, business stays flat, business grows, business slows. This is business. So what I recommend all of you do is let's take out the words losing rank, because that doesn't build any self-esteem or any confidence. That causes us to go into the opposite direction and start looking for everything that's wrong, instead of understanding that this is a natural process of growth. Even though the growth may be in the wrong direction, it's still growth. And what we learn so much more during the trying times than we do the boom times, don't we? We learn more about, we start digging into personal development. We start looking more at, could I be building differently? We start looking at other options. And these are all good things. This is a part of business. We as a company, when our volume goes in the opposite direction of the way we as a company want it to go, we don't blame. We don't become a victim of the economy or of Facebook. We don't say, oh, we've gone from this number to that number because we're not good stewards of our money, or we don't deserve this, or we have a low self-esteem. We just look at it like, what are the ways at this moment can we move forward in the right direction? What can we do to bring our business in the direction that we want? So number one, let's stop saying the words lose rank. And Pam, is that really that powerful? Yes. Do you want to continue to lose rank? Do you want more on your team to lose rank? We don't want to focus there. What we want to do is put on our big girl and big guy panties and realize that this business is a business. It truly is. It's going to have its moments of prosperity in both directions. And when it's not prosperous in money, sometimes that's when it's prosperous in personal growth and leadership. And that's what we need to do is take a look at that. Okay, the other side of that too is the other side of that question was losing rank, and also what was the second, losing volume?
When people quit.
Oh, when people quit. Well, what do people do?
Right.
Yeah. Don't quit. Just don't quit. And when people quit, they quit. I just did a podcast on this. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. And I thought it was one of my best ones because it was on why do people quit. And I always heard from Jim Rohn, don't take that class. And try to understand the psychology behind it because it'll drive you batty. Why have you ever quit something? So think about, well, why did I quit that? Or why did I quit that? You probably lost your mojo. You lost interest. You thought it was hard. Somebody said something to you and hurt your feelings. You didn't get recognized the way you wanted to. You didn't win the daggone ranch trip. And you thought your video was cuter than Samantha's. And you know what? People do that stuff, and that takes them out. Or they didn't get their shipment in time. Or the person that they thought would rock their business didn't join. I gave a great analogy of how many, I asked this in Tennessee, there were 200 people in the room, and I said, how many of you guys were ever Boy Scouts? And almost every guy raised their hand. It was so cool. I said, really? Wow, that's pretty cool. I said, how many of you are Eagle? And one guy raised his hand. So one guy out of all of those boys that were in Boy Scouts, and I didn't count them, but it was over 20, one guy made it to Eagle. The rest quit. Boy Scouts. I mean, it's not like they lost rank. It's not like it was attached to money. They didn't like tying knots. They didn't like walking and hiking. They didn't like camping. And so for us, some people, they don't like asking people to join a business. They thought they might, but they didn't. They got to Diamond and they didn't want the leadership. They couldn't handle it. They got to Triple and they couldn't handle the paycheck. Do you know we have people that can't handle the paycheck? I know you find that hard to believe, but we have people that actually implode at a certain dollar amount because that it's just too much money. Just think of a lottery winner. Most lottery winners implode and they end up giving or losing almost every dime. Usually that and more of what they won in the lottery. Just study it. Just go take that class on lottery winners and you'll go, wow, they won that jackpot and they blew it because they had a thermostat, a barometer, whatever you want to call it, for X amount of dollars. Cammie, in the beginning of her business, her mom asked me one time, I flew up, this is when the company was in Michigan and Cammie lived up there. And Cindy said, will you go talk to Cammie? Will you have lunch with her? She's just really down right now. Her check hasn't moved in a year. It's still at $3,000. So I said, sure. And we had lunch and I started asking her some things. And then I realized that she, I forgot that she was a former teacher. And I said, hey, Cammie, what did you make teaching? And she said, oh, I made $36,000 a year. And I said, Cammie, that's $3,000 a month. That's your thermometer for success. I mean, to go beyond that, you're going to have to stretch your mind. You're going to have to believe that you can handle that kind of money. I would recommend that you sit down with Nathan and say, Nathan, If we go beyond $3,000, are we going to be able to handle that? Or what do we do with that extra money? How much taxes are we going to need to pay? And are we going to get excited about that? And do you know that within months she went to $30,000 a month? Within months, she went from 3,000, stuck at 3,000 for an entire year, to 30,000. And then we had to have another conversation, and then she doubled it to 60. But I'm telling you, we're having a conversation right now, okay? And I can promise you that no matter where your check is in the next couple months, you can double it. You can double it if you get the mindset of that dollar amount. So what does that feel like? What does that mindset feel like? All right, if you're at $15,000 a month, if you're at $2,000 a month, and you want to double that, what would that feel like when that doubling happens? What would that feel like? What would those emotions be? I want you to get into the feeling of that, of what it would be like to tell your spouse or your mom or your best friend that's been raining on your parade for the last couple of years that, hey, I just doubled my check, best friend, now's the time to come in, because your attitude would be a little bit different. What would it be like? And get prepared for it. Contact your accountant and say, look, I'm going to double my check. You're going to feel like you're in fairy tale land and telling him a lie, but you got to do it. Well, I'm going to be doubling my check. I just want to be aware. I want you to be aware that probably going to have to pay some more taxes this year, but you know what? I'm good with that. I'm good with paying more taxes this year because I'm going to be doubling my check, and you better be good with that. You better be okay with that. I hope you're all paying $1 million a year in taxes. Do you know what that means you're making? 3 to 4. 3 to 4 million. How about that? Look at that. Say, I'm willing to pay $1 million in taxes. I'm willing to pay $30,000 this year in taxes. I'm cool with that. I'll help build some roads. I'll help put some disadvantaged children through school. I'm cool with that. I can handle that. That's the way I think about it. And so what would it feel like? It would feel daggone good to double your check. And so then you're going, well, Pam, how? You don't have to figure that out. When you decide that you're going to do something, think about it in your life. When you decided you were going to do something, the how came along with that decision. The how showed up. You just started taking action, and the next thing you know, so-and-so comes into your business, and they bring in 100 people in the next 30 days. You couldn't have figured that out if you tried. That's impossible to figure out. That's God's work. And so what I do is I put it out there. What do I want? Why do I want it? And what it would feel like to get it. So what do I want? Why do I want it? And what would it feel like to get it? And the why and the what would it feel like should be very close. Because that why would be, well, I want to be able to stay home with my kids. I want to be able to be with them during the summer and every day during fall and winter. I want to be able to put them on the bus and get them off the bus. I want to be that mom that can provide for them in the way that I want to provide. I want to be able to buy them the shoes that I want to buy, not the shoes that I have to buy, not the shoes that I really don't want to get for them. I want to be able to take them places. I want them to be able to play that sport. I want them to be able, my brother was just here for the 4th of July, and he was talking about growing up, and he said, yeah, all my life, I just wanted to be a drummer, and we couldn't afford it. And I just started crying because I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. He's kept that inside for 58 years. He's kept that inside. And so what did he do? At 40, he bought drums, taught himself, and now he's in a band. But he said, I really think that I had the talent and I had the drive, and if I could have played at 10, 11, maybe that would have happened for me. So don't you want that for your child? And that should make you cry. That why should open up such a floodgate. And then based off of that, you go take that action so that we're not talking about losing rank. We're talking about doubling and tripling your check. But wait a minute, Pam, people quit. Yeah. What does that have to do with it? That has nothing to do with it. When people quit, we don't sit in a conference room and talk about the quitters. We don't do that because I don't want more of that in It Works. I want less of that in It Works. I don't want to focus in on that and create more of that scarcity, more of that fear, more of that downtrodden within It Works. I don't want to do that. I want growth. I want people staying and people growing. However, if there are those that want to take themselves out, I want them to feel like it's an open door policy. You can go, just don't start coming in on Samantha's team. That's the thing we will not tolerate. You're welcome to go, but don't come in and suddenly, all of a sudden, It Works is not the company that you said it was the day before. That is a zero tolerance. Just go and go build whatever you want to build. Go and be whoever you want to be. But let's leave this team intact on truth, honesty, and integrity. And that's what we want. And that's what we hold fast to. So Samantha, does that help?
Yes. I think you answered like a whole bunch of questions already.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep going because I can add to them.
You mentioned self-development. What are some of your favorite books for business and self-development?
Wow. We'll start with some first books because I've read so many over the years. I just love anything by Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. Jim was in the industry. He's no longer alive. He was in the industry for close to probably 50 years. He worked with a company called Herbalife. A lot of you probably know who they are. They're a $4 billion company, mostly built overseas. But he was their master trainer. And so he knew the industry. A lot of his material does not mention that company. And then he did a lot of work outside of that too. But he does understand this industry and what we go through. You can listen to a lot of his work on YouTube for free. So I highly recommend Jim Rohn. I like Tony Robbins as well, just for an all-around get in your face, get over yourself attitude. That's good too. Sometimes that doesn't speak well for people. He loves to say the F word. Just fudge over that. You'll be okay. There's other things out there too. There's Think and Grow Rich. Awesome book. I read it probably 5-6 times and started reading it probably 30 years ago. So that's a really good book. Think and Grow Rich. The Magic of Thinking Big. Really good. The Magic of Thinking Big. Awesome, awesome, awesome book. So I think that would give you a good start. If you want more, I can definitely send some to Samantha through Facebook. One book typically leads to another. Some books are you'll get and you'll throw away. You're just not ready for them, or they just don't resonate with you, and that's okay too. That's happened to me. But I get up every morning and I read first thing. First thing in the morning, I am reading while I'm putting my makeup on. I'm listening to YouTube. In the car, I'm listening to YouTube. I like Gary V. I think Gary Vanderchuck, he has a good podcast. I've got a podcast now, which is very relatable to who we are. It's everything about being a business owner, a mom, being in the industry. It's at pamsowder.com, so you can go there and submit questions there too. And encourage your team to go there because it's all about us. It's all about us, and it's all about growing. So good stuff there.
Yeah, so you said that when you're getting ready or in the car, you're listening to listening to those. Do you have any other special rituals or habit that you think helped you become successful?
Yeah, I do a Wonder Woman pose in the And, I talk to myself because we talk to ourselves, right? I mean, my sister said she does it, and I said, that's not right. You do. You just don't realize that you don't. I really looked at her, and I thought, is she teasing me? But you know how we talk to ourselves all day? We're like, it's constant. Usually it's just spinning in there, and it's going down the path that we don't want it to go. And I call it getting in that rabbit hole. So what we want to do, one of the first things, and this really, really helped me, I would love for all of you to start this as soon as we get off this Zoom. And that is get a journal out or a notebook, something that you value, though, because you're writing, and your writing is so important. Writing things down is one of the most important things that you can possibly do, and just allowing those thoughts to flow. But I would love for you to write your future story. I would love for you to write what life is going to be like for you in 5 years. And write it in the present tense. I woke up today, and it's such a beautiful day outside. I love the way my bed feels. It just feels incredible. I have these new Italian sheets that I just got. They are to die for. And just things like that. And then you go throughout, like, I can hear the kids and think about what their ages will be and where they will be going that day. And, how that day plays out. It's so important. And get the smells in there, and the feels in there, and the sights and the sounds in there. Make it as clear as you possibly can. And I did that very early on, and I did create that day in my life. And I have built on that day from that moment. And then on another page, start over the next 48 hours just writing down your thoughts. You will be shocked. And I hope not too shocked. But you'll be surprised at the things that you actually tell yourself. Such as, oh, I can't do that. Oh, that won't happen for me. I just don't get any distributors. I'm terrible at gathering customers. Wow, she quit. Here goes another one. And then another one. And then you're going to notice that those thoughts are a direct reflection of your life. And you will hopefully find that extremely enlightening. And then what do? We decide that that's not what we want. And so based off of those thoughts, we reverse them or transform them into the thoughts and the actions and the desires that we want. I'm great at getting customers. I have a team that stays the course. And so in the morning, when you're in the mirror in your Wonder Woman pose, you're saying that stuff. I'm powerful. I am the most incredible recruiter there is. I get 3 people and they go to work. I don't need to get 50. I get 3. 3. Everybody thinks they have to be a massive recruiter. No, get 3 people that go to work. That's all you need. 3 people that actually will go to work. Well, why don't you say, I got 3 people that actually go to work. They get up every day. I look amazing. I'm skinnier and skinnier all the time. My skin is tighter and tighter. I'm getting younger and younger every single day. I say this stuff to myself. What do you want me to say? I'm getting old? I don't feel good? Oh, look at that wrinkle. Here comes another one. No, and suddenly you don't see that stuff anymore. And so for the next 48 hours, write down, really be honest with yourself. Nobody's going to see it but you. So you're going to write it down. Right now, there's thoughts going in your head. One could be, she's crazy. Or one could be, I don't have time to do that. Yeah, you do. You can put it in the notes on your phone. It's probably going to be the most powerful thing that you ever will do. And then you're going to take those, and if you get confused by it, you can Facebook me, but you're going to take those, and not all of them are negative. A lot of them are exactly what you want. You're going to take those and we're going to transform those into, I am powerful. I am positive. I have an incredible attitude. I'm in full-on joy here. I'm having more fun than I've ever had. Instead of, I'm bored, this isn't working, nobody wants to join my team, my volume keeps dropping. And then guess what? You look, nobody wants to join your team, your volume keeps dropping, your attitude sucks, and nobody wants to be around you. Think about that. So powerful. I have been there and I have done that, and I will never go there again. And the only way that I figured it out is somebody had me do this exercise. I remember having a coach, and she said, just start ranting. Let's just rant. And we're on the phone, and I'm like, I'm the most positive person I know. And I started ranting, and I'm telling you, it was just the most god-awful stuff coming out of my mouth. And she let me go for 5 minutes. And then she goes, okay, time's up. Boy, wow, that was really hard on me. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, let me read back some of my notes. And I said, I didn't say that. She goes, yeah, you did. And I realized, wow, I am the most negative person that I know. And I was so glad for that exercise. And I still have to do a tune-up. Every once in a while, I got to do a tune-up. If I start seeing things go in the direction that I don't want them to go, I get my notepad out and I start making notes on my thoughts. And sure enough, there they pop up. That's it. That's it. That's it. And are we that powerful? Yes. We are that powerful that the thoughts that we're thinking are creating the actions that we're taking to get the stuff that we want and don't want in our life. And I'm telling you what, when you discover that, it is just the coolest thing. So yeah, let's go have more fun.
Okay, next question. How do you suggest helping distributors get over the fear of posting and asking others?
Well, you know what? We all have that. Let's recognize that. You know, I remember that's the biggest roadblock for me in the beginning was I was so scared to do that. You know, I'll be really honest. It was frightening for me to ask somebody to come to my house and look at an opportunity. I don't like rejection just like the rest of us. Or I don't want somebody to laugh at me or say she's crazy. Why is she doing that? And that's all these thoughts going on in my mind. And then I went to a meeting. You know, I didn't recruit anybody for 6 months because I didn't ask. Boy, isn't that interesting? You must ask in order to get a response. Somehow they didn't magically know that I was in it and wanted to join. I'm not sure how that works, but it does. So once I went to this meeting and I got so emotional over my why and why I had started that business in the beginning and what I wanted out of it, I got over myself very, very quickly. And I started asking that very next morning at 6:30, I started asking. And once I started, I got momentum going in the asking. And the more I asked, the less fearful I became. But I had to start. And so this is what we do. We start. And so be very relatable to them. Be very kind and gentle, but very coaxing and coaching. And say, look, I've been like this before. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this together. Let's get on a Zoom. Now, let's pull out your phone. Let's start with A. Let's not prejudge. Let's send whoever is A, the first person in your contacts list, let's send them a message. Oh, well, that's my mom, Ann. Well, sorry. We're sending Ann a message. We're going to do it. And you do it together. And so that way, when they get back something that could take them out, you're there to help pick them up off the floor. You're there to help coach them. Oh, that's normal. We get that. Let me tell you, this is how we're going to come back. And we did this one time at a meeting in Richmond. We got everybody into groups of 20. And, all your Zooms and everything should be around building. It should be, if you've got people on your team that aren't working, it's because we're not coaching them how. Or that, stop watching YouTube and let's start working. That's how you learn. Let's get together. Let's get 3 or 4 people on a Zoom together. Let's all have our phones out here and let's start messaging. All right, here's the message, girls. Put it in the chat. This is what we're going to message. And let's wait and see what happens. Now, all right, let's message another. Let's wait and see what happens. All right, let's message another. All right, anybody got anything yet? And in Richmond, I'm telling you, we had a couple hundred people in the room. We broke them up in groups of 20. We even said, all right, if you're not going to do it, the person next to you is going to switch phones because they don't know who's in your phone and they're not going to judge them. But the best thing to do is make that message personal. Hey, Mom, I know I haven't talked to you about the new keto line, but I know you love coffee and would love our creamer. Would you be open to trying it? Hey, best friend, I apologize for not asking you before, but, we talk all the time about losing weight. I know you would love the keto coffee line. How hard is that? That's so easy, and we're not doing it. So we're sitting here all the time, the master's in the chair, my team's not working. Well, you got to show them how to work because they're employees. They grew up in a school system of being told exactly what to do every single day. Then they go straight into employment as the employee, not the employer or the entrepreneur, and we're expecting to change 20, 25, 30 years of habits. It's not going to happen overnight. So we've got to coach them. We got to help them explore. We got to show them they're not going to die. We got to show them that they're going to get no's, they're going to get yeses, and in both of those, we're going to celebrate because they did something. And so we're going to get their 4 customers with them. We're going to get their Ruby position with them. And then guess what they're going to do? Duplicate that. And then they're going to duplicate that. And everybody's getting all their own customers and distributors. And it is a beautiful thing. So tomorrow, you're going to set up a Zoom with 3 or 4 of your team members. You're going to tell them to come to that Zoom with their phone. You're going to have the post ready, the asking questions ready, and you're going to go to town. It's going to be the best power hour you've ever had because you're going to have business generated during that power hour, and it's going to be powerful for them, and it's going to be powerful for you. So that's what I would recommend doing. I mean, I don't recommend it. I say it's mandatory. That's what we should be doing. Through everything that we're doing together should not be sitting here just training. It should be on the job training. Let's get the phones out. Let's get to work. Let's get the Facebook out. Let's get to work. Let's do it. Let's do it together collectively. We're going to make this happen. And they will all start generating business. You can double your volume in 30 days doing this with your team. People that were dead will come back to life again.
Yeah, we love power hours. Like so much gets done in an hour. Like you don't even realize how much you can get done in an hour. But then when you're doing it and your team's doing it, like you said, it just multiplies. So
it multiplies. And, one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow, I've got a leadership Zoom, is time management. It's one of the biggest things out there. How do I manage my time? And we're telling people, oh, just work a couple minutes here and there. That's not working. It's just, then they're like on their phone all the time. It's not 1 minute, 2 minutes. They get sucked into it. It's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then they take a quick break to change a diaper, and then they're right back on it, when we should just say, let's set aside an hour here, there, and there, or 30 minutes, and then the rest of the time be with your family. Then I think everybody would be happier. Instead of trying to do a minute here or 2 minutes there, I really believe that we can get much more accomplished in 15 to 30-minute increments than we can trying to work all day long, and then we're just scattered. Nothing really gets accomplished.
I agree. So if you were starting over, or if you were brand new, is there anything you would do different?
Yeah, I'd do it more. Yeah. And I was doing more, but I do more. Yeah. I mean, we got the coolest thing going here. And I mean, I know what else is out there. And there's a lot of great products and a lot of great companies, but they just don't have what we've got. They don't have the compensation plan that we have. There's $1 million more plus monthly that can be paid out here with products that actually work and they're fun. And, you know, we're just great people too. I just look at who we are and we care. I'm on a Zoom, you know, I mean, easily reachable. You can't talk to anybody else in this industry. They just won't talk to you. So I just think that, are we perfect? Heck no, no. But you know what? We care. And I think that that is about as perfect as it can get. And we expect big things to happen for It Works. We are going, these big things are going to happen for It Works. We've got a really strong vision. So I'm excited. You know, I want us all to look at, already you all can answer that question. You're not done. What would you do differently? And probably the majority of you would say more. I would have gotten over the fear faster. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have taken myself out for that 6 months because so-and-so said something to me. I wouldn't have listened to that. I wouldn't have gone down that path. I wouldn't have, I would have asked more. I would have asked more. You know, I was having a great conversation with someone today, and I said, it is so easy to ask. They either say yes or no. That is so simple. It's like, okay, no or yes. Both of them are good. At least you asked. You know, my brother and I were talking because he was in sales, and he said the best thing that I had going for me is I would walk in anywhere and talk to anybody and ask. He said I'd just walk in. Hey, I'm Brian. Great to meet you. I got this product. Would you be interested? And they go, wow, that was bold. That was, you know, that's refreshing. That is refreshing when you're bold. People love bold people. They love it. They want to be like that person. So be bold. Be sassy. Say, hey, I got a product. I love it. I think you might too. Would you be open? Well, I don't know. What is it? You know, it's when somebody says, hey, I got this. You're like, what? What is it? I want it. You know, they're standing there at the makeup counter telling you look 10 years younger. I'm in. Tell me what it is. How much is it? How easy is it? I'll try it. That's how we are. We're just not asking.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because I met up with a lady the other day because she wanted some energy. And there was a lady like back behind me who was listening to us talk about it and how much energy it gives and everything. And I noticed that she's like getting closer and closer, like listening. And I turned to her, I'm like, do you want some? And she's like, yeah. And like, I got her phone number and everything, you know, and I actually like voice messaged Dana whenever I left there. I was like, oh my God, like I asked her and she said yes, you know, and it's still 7.5 years later, it still amazes me when I ask someone and they say yes.
This is what I do. If I'm in a busy line, I go, hey, yeah, we got this new product. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called energy. It gives you energy. You just take a pixie stick, you know, throw it on your tongue, swallow it. It's amazing. Yeah, $30. It's just $30. That's all. Okay. All right. I'll get back home. I'll get your information. All right. Love you, girl. They're not even on the phone. You're just like talking loud. and people go, I want that. What is that? What is that? They're overhearing you. Anybody else need energy in here? I mean, just have some fun with it. It's just crazy how much fun. Who wants to lose inches in 45 minutes? I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're way too serious.
I think we just think too much sometimes. Like, I was thinking about that question as I was writing it down to ask you, and I was like, I think I just wouldn't complicate stuff, because whenever I signed, I went double in 4 months, and then I slowed down because I started paying attention to what other people were doing, and I started, well, I need to do that. Well, I need to do that then. I need to do that. And I was like, wait, that didn't get me to double in 4 months. So I need to just keep it simple and not complicate it. So
the other day I was in a hot tub, and I was talking to somebody, and they said, well, what's in it? And I said, stuff. And they go, okay. I mean, I never went beyond that. And they go, oh my God, that was just perfect. I said, stuff. They wanted it.
That's great. I love it. Okay, one of our last questions. It says, I go on a run signing loyals and distributors, and then a dry spell because I'm helping my new distributors kick off. What do you suggest I can do to keep enrolling myself as I'm training my team?
All right, so, well, let's get rid of that thought that you have a dry period. Okay, let's just brain dump that. That's over. So what you're going to do, you want to spend 80, listen, I'm telling you, you group your team together and you spend 80% of your time building new business. This is where we get it wrong. You group everybody together that's new. You get them on the phone together on those Zooms. You do it together collectively once a week, because you're going to be building fast and you're going to be building strong. And then make sure that this is really, really important. You need to value who you are. Okay? You need to think that you are Mark Pentecost or Pam Sowder, and you are, of your business. And you need to value your time and your knowledge. You really do. And you need to set your hours. I am available between this time and this time for questions and answers. And that's it. Now, what are you telling your team? That you're valuable, that you're available, and that's pretty cool. She's not working 24/7. She's working these hours, and she's with her family these hours, or working on her own business. So I never let anybody call me until I really basically started my business at noon and worked till 3. This is when the kids were in school. And then I would work again after they went to bed, 9 to 12. Now that was 6 solid hours. That's a lot of time in a business, isn't it? And that's focused hours. That is meeting with people. Now, once a week, I also had a in-home meeting or party once a week, scheduled every Tuesday night. Dave knew I was not going to be home. It was a solid every single Tuesday night. For over a decade, I did that. And then you're going to have some momentum building. You might need to go Thursday as well. But that's your option. I never did anything on a Sunday. I just took it off. That was family day. You know what? People love that. And then what they do is they start to find their own answers to their own questions. And you're not answering the little questions that they could go on eSuite and find. So what are you doing? You're duplicating at its finest. Our egos get in the way. We think that we are responsible for our own success, and that if we take ourselves out, it will implode. Well, that tells me you don't have a duplicating business. What you want to be able to do is not be there, and it grows with or without you. That is a leader. That's a duplicatable business. I know if something happens to me, it works as moving forward, not backwards. I don't want to be the cause of that. So I take myself out of the picture as fast as I can. New distributor. Hey, how do I find the supplemental facts on It's Vital? eSuite. That's your answer. How do I find the steps to success? eSuite. And that's your answer. So how do I get a hold of customer support? Look in eSuite. Send them, keep sending them, because you're not, if you think that you have to answer all those questions, what you're doing is you're wasting your time. And you think you're working. You're not. That's not working in the most productive way. 80% of your time should be building new business. And watch what happens. How would you like it if 80% of everybody on your team's time was new business? See, here's what's going on. Everybody's managing everybody and nobody's doing any work. Everybody says, I'm working harder than I ever have, but doing what? You're not, are you putting in twice as many people as you did before? And usually it's half as many people as they did before. We're all guilty of this. So you can, spank yourself tonight and get over it and say, all right, I'm going to spend 80% of my time on new business, and watch what happens. Your team will be more inspired, more driven than ever before when they start seeing you bringing in new blood. And that's what everybody needs to be doing, is bringing in new blood. Well, how, Pam? How do I find them? I've been in 8 years. They're there. They're everywhere. Get up, get going, get moving, take action. Go to Target. Take a pixie stick and bounce it up in front of the biggest group of moms ever. Invite more people to look at your opportunity this month than you've done all year, and you just watch what happens. It's so exciting. Your energy will be up. You'll be more happier than you've ever been. And that's what we're all after anyway. We do nothing unless it makes us happy, we do a lot of things that don't make us happy, which we should stop doing those and just do things and go after the happiness. Remember that happiness factor in the beginning, Samantha? Remember how excited, that lustful stage? You want that back. You miss it. You miss that stage. It's like being married, being in the honeymoon. We want the honeymoon. That's what we want. You know how you get the honeymoon back? You take massive action. You start kissing on them. That's how you get it back. Watch what happens with that. You don't even need to spend 8% of your time doing that. Life is pretty fun. All right. Any final thoughts, suggestions? Let me look at the chat.
That was all of our questions. I have notes galore. I hope that everyone else took notes.
There are Amanda says there are 1 billion people on Instagram. Wow. 8 million on Facebook. There's 1 billion people on Instagram?
I was reading an article about it the other day, and it came up saying, because I was looking at the new Instagram TV tool that just came out.
Yeah, and all of us should be doing that. Yeah.
And 1 billion.
And we need to, I am in Time in a Bottle. Howard Falco is one of my best friends. Yeah. I love his books. He actually coaches a lot. We use him in our family. I love his work. Let's see. Yeah, good stuff in here, ladies. There's 1 billion women at Target every day too. Starbucks. We're putting them out of business. Don't y'all love the new keto line?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was sharing today on a Zoom with our ambassador, Sarah Rankin. I was telling her that whenever I started focusing more on keto and asking people to help me or become a distributor in my keto business, it got me so many new potentials. Not because they don't like the wrap or anything, but just because it's something new, and keto is like so huge right now. And so they hear, oh, a keto business, yeah. And so I have all these new potentials like right on the line, you know, because it's what's big right now. Everybody's loving keto.
Well, they are. Hey, let's capitalize on the trend. You know, and what you're going to see is sales go up on the wrap. It's just it's a door opener. That's really what it is. And it is all the buzz and all the rage right now. So we need to be talking keto. And again, most people have never heard of it, or they're not sure what it is. And we can ease them into that with the coffee and the creamer. And then just start talking about it. They will love it. They will absolutely love it. All right, everybody. I want to thank you all for having me on tonight. I so appreciate being with you. I hope you're all coming to Green Carpet. And for those of you who are not, you're coming. Go book your ticket, get in the car, and come down. Get on an airplane. It's so easy. Come see us. It will change your business. It will grow your business if you do that. We want to see all of you there.
Thank you so much for taking your time tonight.
And I'll see you at the ranch.
Yes.
We're going to be, hey, I'm doing the skeet shooting. That's what I'm doing, the skeet shooting.
I will see you there. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Love you all. Bye-bye.